The deadline to file your taxes is coming up within the next few weeks, April 15th. If you don't want to wait until the last minute to do that, you don't. We always warn people that fraudsters really like to take advantage of people who do this, who wait until the last minute. It makes it easier for them to steal your information.
I know, but it's so hard. We are learning that Houston ranks in the top 5 cities in the country for identity theft. Joining us right now to talk about this study and how to avoid becoming a victim is Intellicheck CEO Brian Lewis. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good. So first, tell us what Intellicheck is for people who might not know.
Sure. We're a company that works with banks and law enforcement to stop identity theft. So that's how we, come across this and know so much about what the fraudsters do, particularly this time of year.
Yeah, and it sounds like simple advice, but when we tell people not to wait until the last minute, but right now you really are kind of getting to the last minute.
Yeah, kind of already there.
Yeah, we really are. And this is a big problem. 15.4 million Americans had their identity stolen, last time the numbers were run, $43 billion. And 23 billion of it was through scams like what's going to happen with the IRS, where you give the people the information to steal your identity. And that's what they're preying on right now, this state of urgency. And they're going to email you, they're going to text you, and they're going to say, you have to do this now. And that scares people, because I think the IRS scares most of us a little bit. You get something from them, your sense of urgency gets heightened. And through that fear, you give away the information that allows them to steal your return or steal your identity.
Yeah, perfect example there of why you need to, if you feel that urgent, panicky feeling, you need to stop and take a second and step back. But what are some examples of scams that are circulating right now?
So the big ones are where they're going to send you, fake physical mail, because the IRS, it's the only way they're going to contact you is through the mail. So you really need to make sure, go Google the number, check it, make sure the phone number they're asking you to go back to is correct. Emails are always a popular one, and texts have become even more popular, where they're going to send you an email or text that, again, is going to say you have a major penalty or something if you don't act now. And just remember, just like your banks, the IRS will never contact you that way. It's always going to be through the mail and asking you to contact them. So to protect yourself, always check to make sure that, that phone number, that address is real, because it's all public information. You can do an internet search and find out. The other thing is you start to get worried about, I need some help in getting it done last minute. There are a lot of fake IRS websites and a lot of fake companies set up to say they'll help you do your taxes overnight. And again, check, research them, find out who they are, what they're doing, because again, oftentimes it's worth them paying for the ads in internet advertising to move to the top of the list, because the return for them is so great. The ads are cheap.
Yeah.
They get people, they make a lot of money.
Yeah, and then people thinking, if I'm Googling help with last minute help with my taxes and that comes up, I'm thinking, oh, but I found them. It must be legitimate, right?
100%. And just because it's on the internet, I think we all know, doesn't that it's legitimate. So that's why doing your research is really the most important thing. And it can be very simple things. If you get an email, hover over the URL, the email address, and see where it really came from. If there's a link in an email, hover over that, see what it really is, because all those things, it's not just, you give your information away. You can also easily, by clicking on the wrong thing in a phishing email, download things to your computer that you don't know about, that are now basically watching every keystroke and getting all your information. So, and it's very simple then.
Yeah, I mean, these
counts, all of it, yeah.
Yeah.
These scams keep evolving, and so ways to protect our information also keeps evolving. Do you have any new ways that we can protect sensitive information?
What I'd say is some of the tried and true methods are, don't use the same password across multiple accounts. Change your passwords with regularity. Software is cheap to buy that's going to help you determine if something is real or not when it comes into you. So make sure you're getting good antiviral software and those types of things. And really what it's boiling down to is common sense. And I'd say it can be hard. We put our employees through, we test them all the time by sending, scam phishing emails. And unfortunately, even in our industry, we know what it is. We'll have employees who fail. So you need to be careful. And then if you are subject to this, you need to act quickly, because the sooner that you can establish the fact that you're claiming to be a victim of identity theft, the easier it's going to be for you to prove that you were. Because you got to remember, these folks have taken everything about you to create your identity. So it really does digitally look like it was you. So you need to report it to the IRS. You need to report it to your local police station. You can go to the FTC. The number there is 1-877-ID theft, and you can report that I'm a victim. Get it on the record.
All right.
Yeah. Other things, get a credit monitoring service. You'll see if somebody's doing something in your name.
All right, Brian Lewis, thank you so much. All very good information as people get those last-minute forms in. You can find more information and resources on filing your taxes when you go to our website, click2houston.com/topic/taxes.